Shalom, shalom wa ahaba, mishpaka, shalom wa ahaba. Peace and love, family, peace and love. It's your Agna ben Yaounde, Nerea ben Yahuda ben Yasharel. Whatever your dialect may be, may I say shalom to you all, to the whole house of Yasharel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to wherever we've been driven to the lands of our captivity. I pray the Most High Yah, Bahashem Yahushua, who we've come to know as Christ, finds you all in peace, love, and safety in this time of judgment, chaos, corruption, and deliverance for the people of the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. And to all those Gentile sojourners, may I say shalom to you all as well. I understand, Mishpachah. Now, I know for things like what I'm going to say today in this quick conversation will have people, and even many of my own people, label me as a racist for loving myself and loving and promoting the black family. But before I even get started with why I do not feel that the Woman King or having a black little mermaid are victories for the so-called black community. Understand? Now let me show you where I'm pulling from. I'm gonna give you a small little tour of my realm and the faces and men that I have surrounding me to hold me accountable for my present day actions, for the things that these men, you know what I mean, these individuals have done in the past in order for me to be sitting here today living the way that I am living. You understand, Mr. Picard? So let me show you something real quick. Bear with me. All right, up top there, you see you got, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Swing over there, you got Haile Selassie, Bob Marley. You got Malcolm X. And we swing on around. You got Marcus Garvey, Sojourner Truth. See, you got the line of Judah, red, black, and green, red, green, and gold. That line of Judah actually got carved from a Rasta man in Jamaica when I was over there a few years back. If you understand, got to stay in support of your people. So, Ms. Picasso, then when you see the kind of, inspiration that I draw from and why it is that if it ain't about building the black family, which is the foundation of the so-called black community, I ain't really about that, you understand? And I know many people will label you all kinds of things in this tutti-frutti world that we live in as our enemies try to assimilate us and amalgamate us into their society with the intent of destroying us, Mr. Picard. Now, let's start with, because, this one's short and sweet, The Little Mermaid, you understand? Now, why a black Ariel is not a victory, you understand, is because if you don't have a so-called Black Prince Charming, you understand? If you got Ariel up there, you know what I'm saying? And she out there, singing for her white Prince Charming, you understand, to come and get her some legs so she can walk amongst the living, because we all know mermaids ain't nothing but a bunch of demons anyway, but I digress. This is not what we need to be promoting to our daughters, you understand? So when I see reviews of people posting their reactions and responses, or their daughters' reactions or responses to the idea of having a black little mermaid, and they're like, oh my God, she looks just like me. Oh yeah, she, I can be like her. Huh? And what is being like her? Going and finding a white zaddy to come and save you from your poor situation because the black man ain't hitting on 5 cents. You know what I mean? Promoting the agenda of the enemy. You understand? You know what I mean? Steadily feeding that idea that a black woman must go outside of her race to elevate herself. We the only people that fall for that foolishness. You understand? You know what I mean? When you water down something, you don't make it stronger. You understand? Now, I'm sorry if I offend many people who've already been led down that route in ignorance, but the buck got to stop somewhere, and somebody got to kick us in our chest for thinking this backwards, you understand? Or else they will further their agenda of attempting to breed us out and weed us out. But we know that with the promises of the Bible, that will not happen. Because let me tell you something, if I did not have the prophecies of the Bible, I would be kind of hopeless for my people when you see them feeding into false narratives like it's some kind of success because you have a so-called black little mermaid when she ain't marrying within her own community. She out there being saved by a foreigner. You understand? and promoting these ideas to our daughters so that they can further mix themselves and weed themselves out and destroy the seed and the bloodline of their fathers and forefathers. You understand? But if you knew who you were, why you are where you are, and who you are intended to be, then you will know why there's a worldwide agenda to destroy you. But I digress. A black Little Mermaid is not a success, Miss Picard, if it's not promoting the black family. If you're promoting all that swirling and twirling and all that foolishness, it is not progress. It is a step backwards. Now let's get into this so-called the woman king. And now the name of that is an oxymoron, because women leaders are queens. You understand? Women leaders are queens. So the woman king is already an oxymoron. So you already know you fitting to get into some foolishness. You understand? You can't even make a movie about the black woman without clowning her. You know what I'm saying? Without stripping her of her femininity. You understand? Making her some masculine, over-domineering, borderline lesbian freak. You know what I mean? To make a movie on her. You know what I mean? And strip her of her femininity by claiming or calling her a king when that is impossible. Men are kings. Women are queens. You understand? But then even look at the story that they choose. The female soldiers of Dahomey. You understand? Well, let's see what's up with the female soldiers of Dahomey. I'm going to read a little something from News 1. Cudjoe Lewis, one of the last recorded slave ship survivors. You understand, Miss Picard? And we getting this, like I say, from Medium.com. Medium.com. All right. It says, in 1860, 19-year-old Oluwael Kosala, Cudjoe Lewis, woke before dawn to the screams of Dahomey's female soldiers, female warriors. They held their gleaming reapers, 3-foot-long straight razors, with the lift grade slicing through the necks of Kosala's fellow Yoruba, which is those are your people, Israelites, Bena Ephraim, you understand? Yorubam, you know what I mean? Jeroboam, you know what I mean? You understand? The lost tribes of Israel. Yoruba tribesmen at their slim hips swung the decapitated heads. At their slim hips swung the decapitated heads of the murdered. Kosala could not bear to look. So you understand, Miss Picard? These female soldiers that Viola Davis is out there portraying were some of the main slave catchers, slave traders of the Israelite, of the Bantu. You understand? People in the Western African hemisphere, those Israelites, those Negroes, those Bantus that end up on them slave ships, tribes and people like the female warriors of Dahomey were some of the main ones turning us over to the Europeans. You understand, Miss Picard? And then in this movie, if they are depicting them fighting against the colonialists, it is only because these were former business partners who evidently the Europeans came short up on their deal, or either betrayed the deal like they always do and started enslaving the Dahomey people themselves. You understand? Thus, then they began to fight back against the colonialists. But initially, they were business partners. You understand? So once again, they give us something like it's something good for us, when it's nothing but a sleight of hand in order to further our minds into the mind state, the depraved mind state that they have us in order to keep us in the position that they have us in this society. And with that, Miss Picard, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And always remember to keep the fire burning. A little more oil in my lungs. Hallelujah, Miss Picard. Don't get caught up in this. Oh, we got a little mermaid. You understand? And never forget what Cudjoe Lewis say. Ain't nobody more fierce than them female soldiers from Dahomey. You understand? We don't need to be promoting that foolishness. Learn ourselves and study to show ourselves approved, Miss Picard. Until we meet again. Kumar Yasharel. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Rise Yisrael. Shalom. Shalom. Salam, Miss Picard. Hallelujah.